Hi, everybody, and welcome. This reading is for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Weekly reading, the 22nd through the 29th. Approximately swing a day in front, a day behind, but that's about the time frame we're going to focus on. Now, I need to pick a deck, and while I'm doing that, let's talk for a second. I've got sales going at the website right now. If you're interested in a private reading focusing on you, focusing on your questions, your concerns, your birth sign information, reach out to me through the contact form at the website or send me an email directly and I'll get back to you. We'll get that process going. I do not have an auto pay button, guys. Don't look for one. You won't find one. With what I do, I need personal contact. How did these get turned over? Interesting. How many are here like that? That's it. No. Now, Spirit is playing a game with me today, I think. Because I was led to this deck, and I have approximately everything that I need to do a reading here. Turned up right side up in the deck. So I'm going to go from the lowest to the highest and see what we've got laid out for your week. I'm going to use these. Scorpio. Oh, and at the end of this reading, I'm going to go over to my Vimeo channel. I'm going to do a focused love reading for you. So go ahead and reach out to me there if you want something that focuses in a little bit more on your love life. So, we're going to throw a little past, present, future here. And we're going to start with the Ten of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. Now, I have to put these two tens together because they're definitely connected. I see that there's an old way of living, an old way of making an earning a living. There's a completion there, a cycle ending. It was not an easy journey for you, whatever you've gone through recently, Scorpio, on a business level. This talks very much about starting new, starting fresh, new communication equipment, new communication with people. The Ten of Swords brings necessary changes around that because of the nature of the communication. Maybe lines tied up, maybe customers angry. There's a lot of tension, stress, and build-up here. But with the Page of Wands, there's a delivery of good fortune here and a moving forward. So what we do is we're leaving behind all of that old crap communication, all of that shit that wasn't serving you before. And now we're moving towards something that actually works. The Ten of Pentacles. It secures you fundamentally. It secures your intake, your family money, the money you save, the money you invest, the homes you buy. So things feel like they're going to increase here. But what this has brought, and this is all in past tense, is a new beginning. A new beginning, it's something that will be more fulfilling, especially the Page of Wands says that there's a real sense of satisfaction in the changes that you've made. The Eight of Swords. Now this is present day if we want to consider this a present day situation. The Eight of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Empress. Briefly, what these three cards want to talk about to me is the growth. Coming out of a place of stagnation, probably because of negative communication, bad communication, that situation we were talking about just a few minutes ago. In the current day, you're in the process of releasing all of that bad negative energy. It's being removed, and now you are in a process of examining. How does it affect money? How does it affect investments? Is it going to be enough, or do I need to increase? Do I need to do more? But more than anything, the Empress talks about growth. But it talks about growth connected to your finances, connected to your well being, your home, your security, and your family. So she is really in the current day, if you're making those necessary changes, she's bringing it home. She's delivering it. She's delivering the growth. She's delivering all of that nurturing to whatever you're building here that improves your family life. Now, another thing that our Empress brings, and she adds to the family, is more children, more pets, in laws, more coming into the home. That's something you may have to be prepared for in the situation, because it tells me that we've got growth on the way, but some of the new arrivals, and there may be new actual arrivals into the picture. And this can talk about the arrival of a new home, too, a new vehicle. But it all works because it talks about growth and growth potential. Now, Seven of Wands. We really want to focus a little bit more on this business endeavor. These two sevens tell me that there is a reflection on the money, definitely connected, but there's also a reflection on your competition. What is your competition doing? Are they doing things that you just don't see? Are there things going on with them that show them with the freedom to produce, but you feel very much at a standstill? So you're asking yourself here, maybe, what am I doing? I need to increase this, but what do I need to do here to cause that chain reaction of growth? There's something here that the competition is doing that you just don't see. Now, I'm going to say something on a very personal level. Recently, I have been going through a stalemate with business. A YouTube channel seems to be broken for whatever reason. The movies are being shown, the videos, you guys are watching your readings, but numbers are not moving. On the other hand, fellow competitors, their numbers are going through the roof. What I found out, this is connected to the competition. That competition is actually buying their numbers. I didn't even think that that was possible. So I'm going to say that if you see a reader who's got 100,000 subscribers over the past 2 months of being on the wire, and they do just about what everybody else is doing, more than likely, and I found out one reader in particular is going this route in big ways, is because she's buying her numbers. And I said she, and I probably shouldn't have, but most of us are female. She is buying her numbers. She is a direct competition. I started at the same time she did. She has 4 times the readers that I do, but her audience is huge. But her audience is also composed of artificial fake numbers, fake viewers. It's the art of deception. It's going on for some of you too. The Nine of Cups. And like I said, someone is actually being very greedy with and I think for some of you this could deeply involve working on the web or doing something online, because someone is being greedy with their and to me it's greed, because it's giving a false sense of success, not only to yourself, but you're cheating the people who are watching you, because you're reaching out to people and they're saying, oh my God, there's views on this video in 8 hours. I need to watch it. And it turns out to be crap. You have experienced it. I know it's there. It is crossing over in many of our lives now because there is this artificial sense of security when we step out to purchase something. You have to be careful for the competition, their greed, and the realization that if you are going to make any kind of a real attempt at success with this, you have to keep the greed out of your front door. There is competition that will ruin you through their deception. I didn't out anybody. There isn't going to be anybody pissed at me. Competition is difficult. And there's a real element of all for me, none for you out there. Within your community, whatever you're doing with the community, what I'm doing. There's a real sense that people are being deceptive in their practices. This is experience for you because this is also a past lineup here. You've also experienced personal deception. And it really does come through your competition and the sense of greed. And some of you are feeling as if there's a question as to whether or not you're willing to face the struggle with your competition. Keep yourself up well above the moral integrity of your competition. I need one more. I think I'll go with one from the top and then we'll look at the bottom card. The Ace of Wands. It's a beautiful energy because it's saying that you can overcome the deceptive practices of your competition and still come out on top. The Ace of Wands goes after what it is that you're really focused on. Whatever it is that you really desire here. It all comes through with the Ace of Wands. He speaks of integrity. He speaks of going after what he desires while maintaining his integrity. And through the practice of that maintenance of integrity, you're going to grow. And you're going to grow by bucket loads if you follow through with your own sense of right and wrong. Because there's definitely an imbalance here in something. Okay, let's look at the bottom. The Hierophant. The internet. An organization. A fraternity. A union. The deceptive practices of any of those things. Certain elements in the media. He can often talk about morals and rising above the morals of the competition. Because there is competition there that is very much lacking integrity. And what do I want to say? The practices that they pursue, they actually lack integrity and morals. Greed is above all at the root of your competition. And the fact that they're deceiving their users, they're deceiving their subscribers, if it's YouTube or through Facebook or it's electronics or it's online shopping of some kind. There is deceptive practice going on with the competition. And this is keeping your moral integrity. Rising above this energy, the lack of integrity. It isn't pretty, but what I like to end you guys with, if you're going through this right now, is the fact that the sun is shining on your situation. So whoever this is really reflecting on, and it can apply to just about anywhere in your life, where you're trying to do better, earn more, but coming up against a competitive energy that cannot be trusted. I'm going to grab Sibilas and see if I can get a little bit of clarification for you for the week. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. God. Conversations, la conversazione, the sospiri, anticipation, and the dottore, the doctor, the fixer. So, honestly, I think you're fixing your problem. This situation with the competition that some of you are up against, where greed seems to really be the focus of your competition, there's a solution. You've been looking for the solution. And I think after you have the opportunity to maybe have consultations, conversations, get people into the loop, a period of reflection is going to pass. And the situation is going to maybe even self-correct. Maybe you have no contacts. Reach out to your spirit contacts and ask for helpful guidance, because when it comes to a guide, he is not only helpful, but there is a brilliance about him. There are words of wisdom. We all have guides. It's that little voice in your head. It just depends on whether or not you pay attention to that voice. Listen to the voice. That is your guidance trying to come through. And every time you take that little voice and you shove it further back in your head, it gets further and further away. Time for us to tune into our little voices. That is our intuition. But if you can't get there, you want to get a hold of me, reach out. We'll get in touch with one another and we'll get the process started. Yes. You know what you're doing. This is the male lover, but it's the l'amante. He brings complete satisfaction. He's the ideal combination. It's the feeling that you get from him that's important here. It's that feeling, the newness, the stimulation that only a new love will give you. It's the same translation here, except you're not, well, maybe you are. Having, I'm not going to go there. It's the stimulation that you feel through the embrace of a new love. And this new start here, for some of you, is really kind of being blessed, because maybe you've already fixed the problem, and now what you're waiting for and anticipating is that new communication. New communication with your client base, new communication with your old base. The doctor, he has repeat patients, doesn't he? Over and over again. So for me, in your situation, you're not only completing the cure, or you've found a remedy, or you're coming up with a remedy, you're very close. You're going to be bringing about repeat business. And for our doctor, that is how he builds his fortune, his security, his base. So I'd say through this period of growth and harmony and satisfaction and better times coming, there's repeat business following behind, which is really good energy for those of you who are going through this right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sun, and I'm going to take the l'amante here. Oh yeah, you're being released from what could could have been a bad situation. You've kind of been trapped and isolated in one place. Again, this is just reconfirming that. But we have the ending and the beginning here. The end of what didn't work before and the beginning of the new foundation. You know, actually, you're going to use the old foundation because with Disgracia, there's been like a fire or an earthquake, but the foundation is still good. You can still build on what you've already got. And so you do have this energy that times are going to improve here. And they're going to lead to a much better looking future. Allegrezza oppure, the happiness of the heart. It's the rejoicing that something here is finally working. Now I'm going to take and put this reading for this week to bed for you guys. We're going to take a look at love, hopefully happiness, hopefully over at Vimeo. Let's take a look at what's going on for your love life. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. I'll meet you over at Vimeo, and until next week, Scorpio, take care, be well, and peace.